Welcome to the show. Most of you who know me know how I feel about the sales profession in the auto industry. That you should be much more proactive than reactive. That you should learn to sell cars rather than wait around for people to buy them. That if you're not talking, you're not selling. That you come to work and not to wait. Okay, you get it. You know how I feel. So let's talk technique. As far as opportunities to do business on a day-to-day basis, some days are always going to be better than others. Today you might get 1, 2, or even a handful of good leads, whether it's a phone up, floor up, or an internet lead. You might get a really good handful of leads that are decent and very, very sellable. You might be a salesperson that benefits from an unsolicited opportunity. A person that comes in and says, "Are you Joe? I'm supposed to come in and see you." An opportunity that just fell in your lap. Not that you didn't deserve it. Or maybe a repeat customer that walks in the door and says, "Hey Joe, I need a car for my daughter." Again, unsolicited opportunities. Everybody deserves a little good luck in this business, and certainly you deserve those. But what about going after new opportunities each day? Today, I want to talk about going after sales opportunities outside of the dealership without using the telephone. What I call social prospecting. Think about who you do business with, who you spend your money on. Let's use your hairdresser as an example. You probably don't get your hair done for free. You pay someone to cut your hair. That money ends up in the cash register and swings back to them in the form of a paycheck. When your hairdresser cashes that check, they start paying bills. Usually the first one is rent, and usually the next one's a car payment. So in essence, you're helping your hairdresser and anybody else you spend money with make their monthly car payment. Shouldn't you know at least what you're paying for? Do you know what they drive? Do you know how many drivers are in their household? Do you know who's next and for what they'll be looking for? Have you effectively asked these people for referrals? Now, some of you might feel like it's coming on too strong. That's hogwash. You're making their payments. But you're right. You could easily come on too strong and blow the opportunity to the point where they don't even want to cut your hair anymore. Now, that doesn't mean I want you to get weak on me, like handing out 3 or 4 of your business cards. Why would they need more than one? Are you starting a paper drive? You hand out your card and say, "Well, if you're ever looking for a car, yeah, come in and see me. Yeah, just ask for Mr. Blue. I'm the one holding my breath waiting for you." Either you're handing out flyers or you're selling a car. Let's talk about how I would do it with what I call a soft sell, smart sell approach. I'd like to use a couple of different examples. Let's start with a waiter or a waitress at a restaurant. As your meal concludes, that waiter or waitress will always say, "Is there anything else I could get for you?" Now, you traditionally respond, "No, just a check." Now, they come back and say, "I'll take this when you're ready." Now, you pull out your credit card, take the bill, and say, "Kelly, can I say something?" Now that you have Kelly's attention because you haven't put the tip in yet, I'd probably say, "You know, the food here is great." Pause. Let her respond. "The food here is great, but the only thing better than the food here is the service. And in my business, especially my business, that means a lot." Want to take a wild guess at how Kelly responds? "Oh, what kind of business are you in?" "Oh, this is the tricky part. This is where you have to tell them you're in the car business." Kind of joking here. Now, watch me as I use a form of physical communication which delivers the message in a soft sell, smart sell approach. "Kelly, I'm in the automobile business. I help people," notice I didn't say sell, "I help people with the purchase of new and used vehicles. I imagine the last thing you thought about when you woke up this morning was going out and getting some type of vehicle for you or someone in the household." Now, this is where you pause long enough to where they start asking questions. Many volunteer themselves as looking or someone in their household as a prospect. Should you not get any reaction, but still silence, you say, "But one of these days, you're likely to be in the market, and when that time comes, I'd like to have the chance to repay the kindness that you've shown me tonight. Now, if Kelly still isn't engaged, casually lay back and say, so what are you driving these days? Find out what year it is, how long they had it. Now, don't start going heavy with Kelly. Continue on to how many drivers do you have in the household? Oh, really? Well, of the three of you to drive, who's most likely to be in the market next? Because if she says my dad or my mom, then don't go one-on-one with Kelly. So in order for Kelly to volunteer contact information, you've got to lay back again. If you want the name, address, or details, contact details, you got to lay back, because if you come on strong, they're going to run away. When you lay back, they come to you. Kelly says her mom's thinking about a new car. Now, your mom doesn't have to buy today, does she? Oh no, she's just starting to look. Well, once in a while, we have pretty good sales on those type of vehicles. When we do, would you mind if I email her this information or just text her some stuff? As a matter of fact, what's her cell phone number so that I could text her a picture of the vehicle that I might have in stock? That way she can make the next move if that's what she wants to do. Soft sell, smart sell. So now you have mom's cell phone number or contact information. Now I know what you're thinking. Let's go for the appointment. Not yet. There's still money on the table. Now, Kelly, I'm going to do everything I can to help your mom. In the meantime, could you do me a small favor? Now, Kelly's probably thinking, okay, it's my turn to help him. Kelly, I get most of my business from repeats and referrals from people just like yourself. Who do you know besides your mom? Maybe a friend, a neighbor, a relative, someone that you spoke to recently that one of these days might also be thinking about some type of vehicle for themselves. Pause for just a second and then ask, Kelly, who's the first person that comes to your mind? Now, whether you get 0, 1, or 2 leads, go with the flow. After you maximize every sales opportunity that she might give you, then get back to the mom by saying, if your mom's in the market right now, your timing couldn't be any better. I think I'll reach out to her and send her some information, which means you're going to call and set a solid appointment. Now, this technique has successfully worked for me literally hundreds of times over the years. Dealers that have taken me out to dinner or lunch have seen me do this right in front of them. Now, you'll have a lot of fun with this technique, but let me share with you one more before we call it a day. It's a who do you know pin. Yep, and I wear it on my lapel. If I wore it now, you couldn't see. I don't know if I get a close-up, but I want to just show you what the pin looks like. Just wear it on your lapel. What's great about this technique is that you don't approach the prospect approaches you. They see the pin and ask, what does who do you know mean? Which opens the door wide open for you to prospect. Your comeback is, well, I'm in the automobile business. I help people with the purchase of new and used vehicles. I get most of my business from repeats and referrals from people just like you. So who do you know? Maybe a friend, a relative, a neighbor, someone that you've talked to recently that one of these days will be looking for a new or used vehicle for themselves. Who's the first person that comes to your mind? Now, just to encourage you to take advantage of this technique, call the number on the screen and ask for your CBT 50% discount on the Who Do You Know pin. I love this business. We'll see you next time.